What's up? What's up? Going to work on this rebrand, which should be fun. I'm just going to kind of dive in, share this screen. Cool. So this is my the new design for my personal site, um, which Amy did this, which is really cool. Kent, hello, Astro. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Glad to be here. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Astro, as many people probably are, and this is what I'm going to be working on, which should be pretty fun. So, one of the things I actually wanted, I haven't actually done this. One of the things I want to do is actually change out that image. If I can find where it is, this one, I'm going to bring it over to the screen so y'all can see. Thank you, Christian. This is much too big. But I would actually like to use this one because I'm not fully sold on the one that's there. I meant to tell Amy this, which actually makes it a little more difficult. I wonder how much that would. Wonder how much that changes stuff, and if I could just like Z index that. I'm also not like going through this design correctly. I wonder if I just crop this, if that would be. Where's my crop? There we go. You could put the new image on the right side and content on the left. Yeah, um, I could do that. I'm also just because I kind of like I may have to. This is annoying because I may have to think about this some more. Barrios, what's up? I probably shouldn't be messing with all this stuff too before I like mess it all up. But this that actually may work really well. And I still have to make that a little bit smaller to fit on there. So that might work because I would like to. I just feel like that isn't the greatest picture of me. And also all the section content is on the left. So yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think that that may actually work well. Um, but let me go back just so I don't mess up any of the original stuff. Which I guess I should copy that as I fumble around in Figma. Oop, nope. Okay. So I could paste this. I gotta go all the way back over here. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks better for me personally. And I just like this is on brand for the rest of my headshot. Like I'm using this image everywhere now. So I think that's probably probably the way to go. Kent, you made your portfolio last week. Do you have a link to it? Do you mind sharing it? We can bring it up on screen. Okay, so I've got like light and dark versions of this, which is good. Also, this developer part will update, so it'll do like I've never done it before, but like the typing effect for developer, speaker, teacher, so it'll rotate, which I'm excited about. And my website is in in Tailwind, but I think I'm just gonna do default CSS styling to match the stuff that's here. So anyway, we got kind of like some stuff. We got some stuff to figure out. I don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but I have my personal site up. Let's get a new branch. So new design. Let's run that. Subham. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Let's open this up. So I did a migration a while ago from Next.js to Astro and cut out a bunch of stuff just to like keep it really simple. So this is again, we're going to be doing like a pretty big design here. So I'm going to put inside of images. Let's see. This image is huge. I'm on another screen so you can't see this. So I'm going to convert this to like medium. How big is medium going to be? I guess I could pull this over on the screen so y'all can see too. I'm just doing this inside of Apple. So this is 640 by 640. Oh, but I converted it to JPEG. Any thoughts? Is 640 by 640 going to be big enough on that? Probably, right? I could also. Oh, it switched it. It switched it to small. I don't want small. We can be safe and convert this to PNG and do large 1.5 megabytes versus it's a much bigger image. I'll go bigger for now. All right, so I can keep that. All right, and then I'm going to drag this into my public directory. So public images, and I've got headshot, and then I've got selfie transparent. So let's just name this here. Let's just name this selfie. KB and extension WebP will be good, I guess. So the WebP I don't think would be safe to do by default because WebP is not supported. I think it's like much more supported now than it was, but it's not supported by all browsers. So I think it'd be safer to do PG in this case. And then potentially, I still haven't quite figured out. There's an Astro image component, and like the Next.js image component will, I believe, convert it to WebP if it supports it. But if the browser supports it, but Astro seems to like just convert it to WebP. So I'm not really sure to be honest. So that's something for me to figure out, and maybe y'all can help me figure it out with Astro. So what do I have? Well, I guess we can go ahead and do a couple of these styles. So and we have styles, global CSS. That's pulling in this. I wonder if these styles come after something else. WebP can be served as a service through Cloudinary. Yes, they actually absolutely can. Which I love Cloudinary. So and it should be like I could still put this in Cloudinary. I could do that. So that wouldn't be a problem at all. Having the original file as JPEG and PNG is perfect for the majority. Original file. So I can't do original file of JPEG because I need the transparent background. So it has to be PNG. But yeah. So I'll definitely do some optimization around that. Okay, so let's go inside of here and how do we do root? I don't even know how we do CSS variables. Just the name of it. So like brand. Do we name it? I forget how to do. I always forget the syntax. CSS variables. Let's see. Did this actually var name? Okay, so dash brand. And we want this to be the green color. And then we'll have. Oh, interesting. I just realized this has a whole thing. This has two different colors in it, which is. How does that work? Because this is not like this whole thing is not a gradient, is it? How do I tell? Or maybe it is. I actually don't know. I don't have much experience. I have basically no experience with gradient stuff. So is this whole thing one gradient? I'm not actually sure. Is Houston just floating on your VS Code because you have the Astro CLI going? It's a plugin, yeah, so or an extension for VS Code, the Houston extension, and it shows you. I forget, like if you have issues or something, it'll frown at you. I think was what it was, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so it's funny. Perfect, but it would be GRTIF. Use preprocessor SAD SAS. It would be great if you use preprocessor. What is GRT if? Great if? Oh, great if you use preprocessor SAS. Uh, is there a specific reason that you say that? The SAS part? So I wonder if this is meant to be typed white or if that's just a. Oh, so this green actually changes. Okay, so that's good to know. So eventually I'll need to figure out how to do um what am I trying to say? Dark and light mode. SAS for CSS nesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's not worth adding SAS in this because I'm actually going to write very little CSS myself. But for um, in general, having nesting is nice. But in this case, I'm using mostly the Tailwind classes, so shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Okay, so that's this green, and I guess I'll just stick with this so far, and then I'll probably come back to this because I actually don't know like um I actually don't know. I don't know where this radiant gradient is used. Can you all tell? Like, I can't tell if this is because it references. I feel like those are like individual pieces. And how do I? Where do I see? So maybe it is radial. That's actually really interesting to me because I don't really know. I don't really know much about that. But then this color is a thing too. So BG dark, maybe. I'm obviously kind of making up stuff here. And then we'll just do this one as BG. Kind of figuring this whole thing out. So I have some variables, and then what I want to do is also set this as a variable in Tailwind. There's a large gradient image background, and in hero section, there's a dark circle. Yeah, I want to get like I wonder are they only up there or is the whole background set to a gradient? That's something I can't tell. It kind of looks like it, honestly, but I don't know. On Twitch, PHRA, what's up? Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm gonna well, I want to add a color for the brand. And how does that change on white? So it does change. How and I don't know how Tailwind. Anyway, I have lots of stuff to figure out. So anyway, let's do brand is the green color. And this is a new font. So this should all be Poppins. And then this is Baba's new Google font. And is this in the brand part over here? So this is Poppins, Poppins, Poppins. That should all be Poppins, I think. Yes, yes, yes. And then the body is rubato. Is that what all of this is? It is. Okay. So we also need rubato. And for, I wonder, I'm not actually sure. I think we talked about having this as an SVG. Can you export that directly as an SVG? How do I know what that's going to look like? White text, so it probably works. Let me see if I can add name SVG. Can I just put this on the navbar? And let's go to images, name, SVG. Oh, but the whole thing, let's go to base layout, let's have the body BG equal, or wow, I don't know what I'm doing. Class equals, and we'll do BG. What do we call that? Or we didn't actually add it to here yet. We need to add that color into Tailwind. I don't know if that's the best way to do this or not. I also don't know if I need to restart that or not. We'd be streaming, hosting, and deploying setup too. Not necessarily. I've done so. It's fairly simple. It's with Netlify, so basically you just connect the repo and tell it which command to run. So there's not a whole lot to it, to be honest. But if you have specific questions, I'm happy to answer. PG actually, that actually worked. Cool. So I actually can get the name just like SVG. That way I don't have to import the font for one thing. So I feel like that's a start. And then we'll need to add these pieces. And then we have these pages up here. So inside of navbar, we have, actually, let's see our base layout, header. What's in the header? Okay, so that's going above. So probably actually get rid of that. Then go. Oh, the navbar contains. Yeah, I'm figuring out my own code. So we can get rid of all of that. Cool. And inside of base layout, why don't we actually just use navbar directly? And that way we're not pulling in the other stuff, which is good. So then navbar, we'll set some sizing on this. I don't know why I'm not getting auto formatting in here, which is annoying. I would definitely prefer to. I have prettier. I don't know. That's annoying. So then these parts are all lowercase. So blog, newsletter, courses, about. Some of these pages I have to like build again too. Speaking. Oh, it has a section up there for podcasts. I don't think I'll have. I guess I could. I guess I could just link to the podcast page. Supposed to be Z compressed, like my little shortcuts for populating text and stuff. Okay, how does that look? And want this to go wider for the nav bar too. So base layout, flex call, min. What is setting min height screen PY4? Where is the limitation on this width coming from? Where is this coming from? Gap 5 flex. Is that just how much space it's taking up, maybe? Justify center. So flex. We don't want justify center. We want space between. And then we want to do a div around these to push those to the end. That didn't quite do it. I don't know how to say it in English, but personally, I wouldn't use the image tag for the SVG. I would create an SVG component. So there is one resource download less. Am I wrong? Let me see. I don't know. I think so. Part of the answer, I think, is that it's not going to be reused. I think is the big thing is that it's not reused. So I'm not sure if it makes a difference. I'm also not sure. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. So basically, instead of it making a request to get it locally, it'll actually just be in the code. Is that what? I've never actually thought about that. It does kind of make sense though. And someone maybe chime in if you agree with that. Because right now we will see this come through in a request here. Yeah, that's fair. So we could. How do you? Let's see. Import SVG Astro. TSS. This may be doing more than we actually need. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Imports. Does this have SVG in here? You can place any static assets and copy it directly in your final build. A builder bundle by Astro, which means that any type of file supported, you can reference with the path directly in your HTML templates. Yes. Does this reference other assets? Astro Club. Is there a specific thing I need to do to? Oh, just this one, I guess. Interesting. Okay. So I think I have. Leave that open. I think I have images in here. You can create a simple component, return the SVG. Yeah, just like write the stuff in there raw. But I can also, not that one, but this one. I'm also not sure. Not sure why I put these. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure why I put these into the source. Anyway, I don't know if it matters that much. But let's go and add JavaScript in here, and we'll import name from the, what are we in? Images. And then name.svg. But let me do this. Name is already declared. Name. I just call this what I want. It doesn't export anything, right? Happy New Year, Kelvin. Name SVG. Can I do that? And say source name SVG. Okay, that works. And then this flex and gap 5 as well. All right, and then we'll do item center. I always forget which is which. Cool. So those should be centered. Bonsoir, Fry Design on Twitch. What's up? Comment ça va? Getting my French in for the day. Did y'all? I don't know if people saw, but I had like a very awkward French class yesterday. Like very, very awkward. It was like it was weird because it was grammatically just something that it was just something that wouldn't make sense in English to me either. It was like I don't know, really weird and made me like really uncomfortable, unfortunately. And like it wasn't even a struggle in wasn't even particularly a struggle with like the French aspect of it. I just didn't understand what the grammatical thing was. My dog's laying right underneath. Fry, I'm Christoph and Twitter and YouTube. Oh, cool. Awesome. It's hard. It's always hard. One thing I'd recommend for people is to get consistent names across platforms, which I know like different like accounts you created at different times and stuff. But it's super helpful if you have the same handle across across all places, all social places. That didn't space between didn't work unless this thing is not taking up the full amount of space. If I do with no, so image. Yes, you're right. First time chatting on Twitch. Yeah, welcome. Glad to have you. I'm working on doing the new design for my website. So I'm kind of like stumbling around right now. I think my image will look a hell of a lot better than this old one now, which used to be my favorite. Why? Okay, so this must not be applying the right um, align items. No, justify content. Justify content space between. Okay, that's what it should be. Space between. What is this in Tailwind? Tailwind space between. Like I know a lot of them, but I always get some of the stuff confused. Space. That's not what we're looking for. Xbox. And then here. Where justify between, is that what it is? Justify content, that makes sense. Justify. Thank you for that. Okay, cool. So I think that came through. Good. We probably want to put. Let's see, does this have a size? Probably want to put a size. Justified. Thank you, Dale. So this is like the benefit of streaming is having people come and help find those small details that are super helpful. All right, there's a little more padding up there, and they probably add a height. Let's do this in tailwind. Class equals H4. I always forget how these. Nope. 12. Too big. 10. Mark on Twitch. How's the site coming? Slow. I'm like basically just kind of fumbling around now. But I just started, so it's a good thing. I also probably will want to have someone like come in and give feedback on how I did with these. Like if I matching the design, because I feel like that's not an easy thing to do. Somebody interested in learning iOS native. What do you think of iOS app dev? Is that less saturated? I don't know. I don't know about like less saturated. But I think there's plenty of opportunity for app dev. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunity there. Let's see. I am gonna go to what's the best place. So if I want all this text to be white, but I also want that to change on dark mode, what's the best place to put that? 'Cause I could go into the base layout. I could say text white. I can do that, which is probably good for now. And then these look. What font weight is this? Font. Take a breath. What's the breath for? Okay, so I probably want 300 for those. This would be text, font. Hate how you don't get IntelliSense after you mess up. Font light. Did I do all those? Cool. So I think that is more or less it for that part. Now, obviously, missing some of the nicer touches and details. Cool. So then I'm actually going to transition the header component. Where all do I use that? Is this the redesign you're working with, Amy? Yeah, this is the one from Amy. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Also, we need to get rid of this header and just use navbar there. And then header. So inside of here is where we can now start to do this stuff. We don't need. I don't think we need any of that. Astro V2 is on the way. Oh, really? I actually haven't seen anything particularly about that. What's the deal with Astro 2? Are any specific features that you want to call out and share? All right, so this is on the index. The hero is what's not the header. So this is what I want to customize. This is what will change. I'm going to leave the image component there so I can see what that looks like. Okay, so we still have the idea of this split thing. The interesting thing is that this we're going to use this selfie, and that means that we can import this. So we can move this over here and import that as well. So we can import selfie from selfie PNG, and hey, there that is. That's cool. And get rid of the roundedness. So we don't need that. Right. That's basically what we're looking for. And then could do like a 6 by 6, maybe even bigger than that. Is that limited? Wonder why that's not showing up as bigger. Oh, well, 1,000 isn't a valid thing. Okay, so that's showing up. So why? I have this width 300. Do I use that somewhere? Oh, yes. It's overriding. Cool. So there's 1,000. I guess I'll just like play with a number so it looks right. So that looks pretty good. Um, at least to start. So this is actually going to be on the right side, and then we'll have a div on the left side for the text. Item center gap 4, which may make sense. And then inside of here, we want to add H1. I'm a developer. This has a period, I think. Yep. And we're going to wrap this in a span. And we're going to eventually update this, but also in here, we will um, image. Oh, Christian, let me come back to your comment in a second because I this is particular. This is specific questions that I've had about this component. So let me come back to that in a second. And this will be BG brand. Oh, that doesn't look all right. BG brand. I think I copied the same thing a couple times. Let me grab this color. I think I just copied it in here wrong. I don't know. Will that automatically refresh? Chris McConnell, what is up? What are the errors that we're getting, by the way? Those are probably this thing, which I still need somebody to help me understand what's going wrong. And I don't want BG brand. I want text brand. And I think it's not picking up the new color, so I need to restart. Okay. Christian is saying in the Astro image component, you can use the format AVIF or WebP, and the original image is the fallback if. So that's what I thought. And that's what I would have expected, which is perfect. That's exactly what I think it should be. I thought it had shown me at some point that it was sending down, like, I thought someone pulled up my site on a browser that doesn't support it, and I thought that they showed that the image was missing and it wasn't coming through. We should double check that. So we will double check that here in a second. Cool. Okay, there's that. Also, how class max width 100. Will that shrink that down? Cool. And then did that actually change that? Not sure. Did that do anything? I want to have this image shrink. I think that's working. Okay, we'll start with that. And then this will be like class 6XL maybe. I'm not doing any of this right. Text 6XL. Cool. But then we don't want that. So we want to have the container. So max width small and all that. Otherwise, max width 100 pixels. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure. So I don't want, it's not 100 pixels, for example. It is, I want this image to just fit the space that it has. So like that should, in theory, that should scale down. Anyway, I'll have to figure this out. I also, this is going to be different. So this hero is going to be H height of view height. Is that right? And then I want, see, this is where like I don't actually style things very well very often. Because I want this. I don't think that's working. No. Is it not height full maybe? That's still not working. Height 100 VH for this thing. Which how is that not I'm so confused. How is that not going below the screen if it's height 100 if it's set to the entire view height, but it doesn't start until here? How is that not going below? Oh, it does go below. Okay. And then the other thing we want to do is change the nav bar to be fixed. Okay. And then this thing, height 100 view height. Okay. So what is, go to height. H full only works. Yeah. So, yep, you're right. So I want to do, there's a way to set it to 100 VH too. I just forget what it is. Height screen. That's what it is. So we want this one to be screen. So we want the hero to take up. Yeah, Dale, thank you. Um, Lane, thank you. Christian, thank you. Thanks everyone. So yeah, basically I think like this will be the like above the fold thing. So we should see at the bottom of the screen, we should see this like the bottom of my image should match up with the bottom of the screen, if that makes sense. We also have this is bold, so bold and interesting. So how would I can you do like a position self vertically? Position self box. Does that make sense? Align is align self what I want? So if I take this image and say align self and okay, yeah, that's it. Um I think that would be self end for the image. Oh, self. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Does that save? Cool. I feel like this looks a lot better when it's something like this. That seems really far down. Oh, also part of the reason this looks really empty is because this stuff got messed up. So with this part, if this nav bar, okay, this nav bar, do I need to now set, uh, I type in tailwind in here, width to 100 view width. Spelling super important. Okay, that's what we're missing on the nav bar. Okay. So in nav bar, we'll set this to width screen. That's the one. And probably we'll add more padding on the left and right. So maybe double that. I feel like that didn't even that changed, but I feel like it could be bigger. 40 too big? 40 might be too big, but that's okay. We can leave that for now. I'm also not sure how this green color got in here for the hover. I don't because I don't think I did that. Hover I guess I must have had huh, interesting. I guess I must have had like a brand color set in Tailwind before. Although I didn't think I did. Maybe I did. I must have. Hold on. Yep, I had set it up here. So that was my old red brand color. Yeah, okay. So I feel like this text, quick question. Can we have protected routes in Astro? Depending on how you want to protect them, yes. So you have the ability to like run stuff on the server before you actually load the page. So if you wanted to, you could have um like you could be checking cookies and stuff. I don't know if you have if there's a library that like helps you do that. Astro typically is like not really made. It's not best for those types of sites. I think there's other things, other frameworks that are better for that sort of thing. But I think you could. I just haven't done it specifically. Everything Astro is server by default. Yeah, the only caveat to that, well, I always forget. So if unless you enable SSR, then aren't all of your pages like built at build time? Is that not right? Yeah, like aren't all of them static? And then you can enable SSR. Yeah, and then you can do stuff on the server with SSR. So in theory, you could check cookies and that sort of stuff if you wanted to. Static by default. Yeah. Christian, I like the ist static, the like German version of is. Nicely done. Okay. Missing this copy, which I may actually change. I'm not actually sure if that's something I'm gonna keep. Oh, Yuri, what's up? Oh, Yuri, our podcast episode is live. Have people? I haven't shared this on Twitter yet, but the podcast episode typo. No, but it was like the perfect typo because of German. I thought it was fun. The latest episode of the podcast is out with Yuri talking about monorepos, which is a complete learning experience for me. So that was a ton of fun. Okay, so let's do now. We have this. Let's just see what this looks like. I also need to add the period in here so it's green. And all right, so I think like that's got to be bigger. Then we obviously want some space. So we can go to 8XL and then we can go MB10 maybe. And then probably this body is 18 and this is probably not 18. What is that set to? This is 16. So I wonder what class text. I don't know if I need to do large. Probably is large. Okay, so that gets up to 18. Cool. Side note, building my site in Astro right now as well in a mono repo, obviously. Obviously. That's cool. Yuri, have you used Astro before? Is this your first time trying it out? Either way, I think it should be this should be a ton of fun. I've really enjoyed it. So now the one thing I still have to figure out is how to contain this image. Also don't have any responsiveness on the nav bar yet. So this is like we're taking our time, but we're making progress. So let's try Christian. Oh, Yuri, almost done. Do you have a like a preview link? If you have a preview link to share, I'd love to pull it up and show people. Um, so let's try what Christian was saying. Let's look up Astro image. And let's see if we can get some optimization around this. So Astro image inside of here, we can I think I'm already doing this stuff. So with image located in public for remote. You say alt, you can say format. The output format to be used in the optimized image. The original image format will be used if format is not provided. So if you don't provide it, it'll take it by default. The property is required for remote images only because the original format cannot be inferred. The property is required for remote images. So this is saying in theory that I should be able to do this and then say, oh, how does that work? Why is it giving me an object? Is that right? Oh, just because can I put it in here? And then do web p. So before I save that, let's actually look in the network. And let's look in the network tab. Let's open this. Just look at images. And this is a pretty big one. How big is this? Quest headers. Why? Oh, just want to see how big this was. So size 823 kilobytes, and that's requesting the PNG. Okay. And then now, if I save, we should be getting a WebP format, and this should be so instead of what do we say, 800 something? So it was 823 kilobytes versus 12, no, where is it? 76. Okay, so huge difference. That's a huge, huge difference. Now the question is whether or not this allows us to use this on a browser that doesn't support WebP. What does Safari support WebP? I never use Safari. Can I use Chrome, Safari? So like any major version of Safari. So I'm not even really sure like where to test this, to be honest. How? Because I don't think like I don't have. Yeah, it's a lot more supported than it was, and image optimization is crazy. Wait, is there a way? Do you have any suggestions on where I can test this? Like you can't do a setting in here to say like don't accept WebP, can you? Also, is AVIF more supported? So if I say AVIF, selfie goes to 29 kilobytes, so even smaller. Old Android or iPhone without the latest update. See, I don't even like. I don't have a great way to test that. Can I use AVIF? Probably WebP is more supported. AVIF's not supported on Edge, i.e., shocker. Okay, yeah, it does look like WebP is more supported. So let's keep it with WebP. But there was something that made me think that if it didn't support WebP, it wouldn't load the image at all. And unfortunately, I don't have a thing in here to try this out, which is really annoying. Huh. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to revisit this, but we'll see. I wonder, do I wrap well max with 100? I want that to stay contained inside of the container. Does that make sense? Max width, because this main has a max width. Then we have our flex box. And it's like breaking out of that. Is there any way to have dynamic fallbacks if it's not supported? Christian, I don't. Do you have anywhere that like shows that documentation wise? I feel like I'm like questioning it, and maybe I'm not right to question it. It just I could have sworn that that happened and it bit me in the ass, and I was disappointed because I feel like that's what it should have done. The thing that isn't like it doesn't show on here. It only says the original image will be used if format property is not provided. So like if they don't provide it, if you don't provide it, they will use the original. I would love to see confirmation somewhere in here that says specifically if it doesn't support it that it will um yeah, Yuri, that's what I think that's what Christian is saying. I haven't 100% seen that confirmed. That seems like an obvious thing that it should do. It seems like an obvious thing that it would have to do. Because the only other benefit is like it just converts it to WebP, so you don't have to. But converting your own image to WebP is not that hard. I don't know. So if you find a piece of documentation or something that shares that, please share that with me. I would love to see that. Okay. Um, do we have what's the What is the image thing for contain? Image contain. It's a property. Object fit. Object fit. Contain. Nope. Contain. Max width. That was quick. Hello, Chronoceptor. Okay, what am I missing styling wise to make this thing? Okay, so that's closer. What did I have before that? Max width was 100%, which means this thing would have had to have a max width, which it does. All right, something I'm missing. Anybody know? Check if it contain. I feel like it would be telling this parent to be. Like I feel why am I crazy? Min width 100. Maybe you can use grid. Potentially could, but I would also like to know min width 100%. I don't know if you're saying on the image. I don't know why min width. That would go the opposite way. I would have thought it just doesn't. I think you need to use the picture component instead of image for the fallback. Mark is saying that on Twitch. So I had thought about that too at one point. I went through this whole thing of trying to do all this stuff and got confused. I think you're right. It is true what I'm telling that there should be a source set in the source code, but there is only a source. Damn, my fault. Okay. Um, Mark is saying latest CM times entered. Mark, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But built-in picture is used to create an optimized. Salim on YouTube, what's up? Create an optimized picture for both remote images hosted on other as well as logo images from your thing. In addition to component specific properties, any valid HTML image included in will be included. So source for images located in your project. Source is a relative file for images located in your public directory. For remote images, that was supposed to be. Let me rats. I have to open up Twitch to actually look at that comment. Doop 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 to the docs. But Mark Huggins just sent me, which I think okay, that's where I was. Yeah. Okay. And you were down in the format section. The output formats to be used in the optimized images, if not provided, WebP and AVIF will be used in addition to the original formats. For remote images, the image format is unknown if not provided, only WebP. Is Astro a single application like React and Angular? First time seeing it. No, it's actually most or by default very different from Angular. So Astro by default doesn't send any JavaScript to the browser. So by default, it's like static pages, and then if you enable SSR, you can do things on the server, but they're like server generated pages, and then you have the ability to add on JavaScript to it. So you can actually use React, I think Angular, but Vue and Svelte inside of a Astro project. But Astro by itself is a much different approach. Okay, so we're saying here picture. So where's an example? I just want to see an example of how get image. Whoa, what is that? This is the helper function used by the image component to build image attributes. Helper takes in an object. Whoa, that's interesting. Sleeping time in Pakistan. Fair enough. Salim, thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Uh, this is one thing I wish that they did a little better job at probably is examples of these. So let's try this out. We'll do selfie. We'll have 400 and 800. I think the full thing is 800. So that'll be the most we'll need. Then we'll have picture, import from Astro. And then this is going to ask for sizes is missing in type, but required in type property sizes. Sizes. And what are the sizes in here? The HTML image element property size allows you to specify the layout width of the image for each of the. It's funny that they like that sizes is required true, but then isn't referenced down here. I feel like that should definitely be improved in the documentation. We don't have anybody from the Astro community in here, do we? We should definitely get that added because I don't know what format that's going to look like. Like, how am I passing in sizes? Astro image component. See if anybody's written. Yeah. Okay. Christian's got the answer. Fair enough. So, you got max width 800 pixels. Okay. And is this coming from the sizes property in picture? HTML picture element sizes property. Is this like not Astro specific, but set in sizes? I've never fully understood picture sizes. Instead of loading a single image and trying to resize it to suit all possible viewport sizes, the picture tag loads multiple images of different sizes and resolution, choosing the best one. Yes. Each using source set and size attributes to specify different images along with the conditions under which they should be loaded. Yes. As powerful as it is, sometimes give us more power than it's actually needed to achieve suitable responsiveness. Sometimes it's really all it really takes is regular image tag using sources and sizes attribute, using sizes to control. Okay, so the sizes attribute allows you to specify width for the image layout. Know that this is a separate concept from the real image widths specified in sort set. The width given in sizes is related solely to layout and can be thought of as creating empty placeholder slots into which the browser can insert images. Doesn't matter which image file the browser chooses to load, it will display it at the width you specified. Hmm. So this is saying, so size, in this case, the example is it will tell it, I'm going to have this thing be displayed at 80 view width. That's how big it's going to be. Which image it is that is being displayed at 80 view width is dependent upon these width definitions up here. So you're saying with this example, Christian, we're setting max width to 800 pixels. Then we have 100 viewport width and 800 pixels. I'm not sure how those relate to each other, unfortunately. What missing picture? I think that just imported from the wrong place. A lot of stuff up here. So did I replace the other one? I don't think I did. So there's that. These are still just okay. I don't know how to stop that. It works like media queries. It's such a like funky syntax. So media query. So oh, is that saying up to okay, so up to a width of 800 pixels, the image will be displayed at 100 viewport width. Above that, it will be a max of 800 pixels. Is that what you're saying when you say media queries? So these two things are grouped together. So with a max width of 800 pixels, anything 800 pixels or below, with a screen, the image will be displayed at 100 view width. Otherwise, if it's bigger than that, it will be a standard 800 pixels. Okay, interesting. Also interesting that that takes a lot longer to load, or at least it seems like it does. Let's go back to the network tab and let's clear that out and see. So we get this selfie. Oh, that was cool. That must is that the 800 point? Yeah, neat. That's kind of cool. So it should have asked for the AVIF at 800 because of the original screen size, I believe. But if we start here, it should request, or if we start, so right here, I think this should, if we get rid of the cache, I think the intention is that at this screen size, this should be pulling the 400 width and height version. And then once you expand, it'll request the higher resolution one, which I don't see happening. Width 400. And I don't know, see, I don't know if these widths are referring to the image itself or is that the width of the images or the widths of the screen. Not sure. Let's go to picture. Alt sizes widths. The list of sizes that should be built for responsive images. This is combined with aspect ratio, calculate the final dimensions. The list of sizes that should be built. Okay, so this should be sizes of the image, which I would then expect it to load the 400 instead of the 800. Somebody would have to come on and explain why that's not happening because I've used picture and source set in the past, and I'm almost positive that's what it should do in that scenario. We maybe also can do that. That didn't seem to change it, so I'm not sure. All right, somebody will have to answer that for me at some point. Now, I think you need aspect ratio for that to work correctly. So we have, Mark, we have aspect ratio here, 1 to 1, so it's a square, so that should be covered. You have it, I missed. Okay, cool. Um, now I'm still not sure about this. You know the other thing we could do, which like might make more sense, is oh, this is not supposed to be. Oh, that's for responsiveness. So the thing that could be interesting that might make more sense. I don't know if this will make more sense at all. Is for this to be a class of absolute. And then get rid of this. We could still say flex and then item center and flex call. Oh. Oh, but we don't want item center now. Nope. We want justify center. Yeah. What's that called? Oh, that is that. Okay. And then well, we could do only put this in. I don't know if this is the best way to do this or not. We could put this in a div. We could justify center that whole thing, and then we could say that this has a max width of XL or something like that. Nice VS Code theme. What is it? I don't actually know. What am I using right now? Is this the Astro one? Oh, this is Night Owl. Ben Holmes, what's up? Ben, so we've got some questions around the way images and stuff work with Astro Image. If you're game to answer some stuff. Christian, you're saying if you go back to the Astro docs, scroll completely down, like all the way to the bottom of the page. And what were you looking for, Christian, here? I saw Houston and had to comment. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I learned that from you, so thanks for that. Oh boy, the one integration that scares me. What's the integration that scares you is images? Is that what you're saying? So I guess Christian, were you saying scroll down to get the examples of? Can you tell us how the picture component works? Yeah, actually, Ben, if you're free and you're interested, I'll send you a link to come on if you're comfortable explaining like how image and picture components work. I don't know if that's something you want. Shaggy, how did I get the outline? I think so. This didn't actually, I don't think this actually did a specific outline. I think this is just the way that I like cut out the image in the application that I use. So I use an app called PixArt, and it has like a background removal feature. So I think that's what it was. Cool. I'm gonna send you a link on Twitter if you want to come on. That would actually be super helpful. This is also one of the fun things about streaming. It's like you find somebody that's more knowledgeable, and then they actually join you to teach you all the things that you should know. Can you send a link here? Shaggy, what are you looking for a link for? The other thing I want to do is put this at bottom 0. So that should take it over there, and then we'll go like right 0 and put that over there, and this should except we want this to be the container to be relative. Which makes this kind of difficult. Senator, yeah, so this is a paid thing, so it's up to you if you want to do it, but it's the PixArt app. And I found this on iPhone. And let me get Ben in here. What's up?
Hi. Whoa, I'm live.
Oh,
How's
good.
everyone doing?
Enlighten everybody.
I had to turn on my stream lights real quick.
I know, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Not to put any pressure on you or anything.
Now let's do it.
So we originally started with, I have this higher res image, which is a PNG, and it's pretty big by itself. So it was suggested to use the picture component or the image component first so that we could tell it to use like a WebP. And I mentioned at the time, I'm pretty sure I did that before. And the downside, which I was surprised about, was you could tell it to do WebP, but it would only do WebP and not serve the original image if it's on a browser that doesn't support WebP.
Yeah.
So I got it. Like, I remember getting a message from someone saying like, hey, there's no image on here. And I thought it would automatically figure out if the browser supports it or not, and then ship something, ship one that it supports.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Picture Element if you want to
Okay.
if you want to have multiple formats. Uh, reason being, when you use like image, if you do like a source set, you can't have multiple formats. So it's like, yeah,
Okay.
unless you have a custom image backend, you can't do that, which is a little shame.
So so right now I have the picture element, and
Sure.
then I'm kind of new to the sizes and widths and stuff. But will this like generate optimize like AVIF and WebP images by default and serve them if the browser supports it?
I'd have to look at what our default formats are, but yes, I think so.
And there
Uh,
actually is a great way to do this. So I haven't specified any
yeah,
particular one, and this is serving me an AVIF,
cool.
which
Okay,
is
yeah,
great.
if you, I know the Chrome dev tools are really nice for inspecting different image properties. It's been like a year since I played with picture, but I back in
Are
the
you
11D
looking?
days, I was trying it. Yeah, this okay, all the sources are there. Looks like. So,
Okay, so PNG,
yeah.
WebP, AVIF. So the other thing is right now, this is pulling, if we expand like the query parameters, this is pulling the width 800 by 400.
Yeah.
And I would have thought if I get down to a smaller screen and I refresh, that it would pull the smaller. Let me clear this so you can see it. I thought
Yeah,
it would pull a
so
smaller one by default.
there's a fun fact with like high pixel screens where you kind of have to double the pixel amount in order for it to equal what it actually is. So like here, if it's a 400 pixel screen, it will
Mhm.
serve an 800 pixel image. And if you have a really wide desktop, you actually want like a 1600 pixel image for it to like get truncated back down
Hmm.
to 800. So like,
Okay.
yeah, when you use sizes, you might actually want to double the numbers, and then it should do different things. You can also, I don't know if you've set the widths properly. I'm trying to remember what it said.
Yeah, so I've got
Widths
400
400 and
and
800. Okay.
800. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's why it kind of looks blurry at like the larger desktop. I was going to suggest like putting 1600 and it'll just look crisper. It could also just be me looking at the stream. So I don't know. But yeah, that would do something.
I think that okay, let's expand this a little bit. Unfortunately, I have to make the screen smaller to like see.
Yeah,
Okay, so
exactly.
that did pull 1600, and then if I go here,
Yeah. Okay, make it really small. If
still
it doesn't, I'll be
1600,
surprised.
and then this
Well,
one
dang.
still
Try
1600.
refreshing without cache. Might just be cache. Yeah, it says memory cache right there.
Okay,
Okay.
so there's 800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that.
And I actually
Yeah.
don't know, so I should make a change because I think the version I added in here, I believe was only 800. Like I think I shrunk it down to 800 because in theory it would be a max probably of 800 pixels regardless,
Hmm.
because it's not like as the screen gets bigger, there's ideally going to be like max width and not go beyond the max width. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where sizes comes in mostly. Where it's
Hmm.
like, uh, it really sizes is a funny one because it's trying to solve the problem of like you don't know what the layout of the screen is going to be. Like 100 VW is usually fine, especially for something like this that's like mostly just taking up the width of the screen or whatever it
Hmm.
can. But I think your sizes is right
Cool.
um, for sort of supporting that. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, that's helpful. Mark dropping from Twitch. Thanks for coming. Flemo, welcome on Twitch. Sweet. So now the other thing, I don't know if you want to stay in chat or if you want to run, but now I've got to figure out how to position this thing correctly, which is just like
Oh
styling
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to learn Tailwind, so I can stick around for a little bit
Yeah,
and see what to do. Sure.
let's do it. So I originally, this is the design, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is from Amy from the podcast. She did the design, which is really great. And this image, originally I had like a Flexbox thing where I had like this as one child, this as another child. And I didn't actually get an answer, but or come to an answer as to why, but unfortunately the image like kept going beyond. I couldn't contain it inside of the Flexbox, and I don't actually know why, which is silly. But so then I changed and did it as position absolute, And with that, set it at right 0, which should push it over to the right side. But the unfortunate thing is, like, I think this is it's at the right side of that whole box, but my arm is so far over that pushes my body over, if that makes sense.
Oh god, yeah. This is
Um,
like only the problem you run into for homepage banners because it's the only
yeah.
place you do wacky images. And it's just
Yep.
like that's why my homepage took so long.
Well,
I
this
yeah.
is what I've had for so long, is this,
Oh
which
well,
is
that
fine.
yeah. You can yeah
You can easily contain that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Then my personal site took like 4 hours or something. It was really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've not made like a ton of progress since I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes, but it's been fun. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you know this. You can, in Tailwind, you can, so if I say like right 10, this is going to push it away from the right, so it's going to push it
Mm-hmm.
left. And then you can also do negative in here, which will flip that. I don't know if
Oh,
you'd seen
cool.
that before. So that should push it further
I
back.
believe it. Okay.
I think. I don't know if that did it.
You should do the thing.
Where is? Well, I don't know if that got it. Did it?
Yeah, because of course my brain's going to like, oh, how can we make the grid work instead of absolutes? But like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if you can do negative gap. I don't remember if that's a thing. That's the only idea I have.
I'm almost positive you can, although now it's
Okay.
making me seem like a liar. Oh,
Uh,
another question. This seems like it's taking a while, like much longer to load with the picture
mm,
thing. Is it like during development? Is it like generating them each time and then they'll just be ready to serve
right.
in
They
production?
will. Yeah, it'll be static in production. It might be pinging it every time in dev, and there's not really a good reason to do that, honestly. Like once
Okay.
you set the parameters, unless it
Yeah.
changed, it should stop doing that. But
I
yeah,
would think it. Oh, well, another thing was we just did
oh
a
yeah,
cache,
that's a good
which
point.
is
That's
another
probably
thing. So
most of it. Yeah.
so that's definitely part of it.
Yep.
But I don't know why. I'm almost positive you can use negative positions tailwind. I feel like I've done this
Negative
recently.
positions. It looked like it was working. It's just 10 is a small number.
Was it just too small to tell?
I
So
think
if
it was
I
just too small to
did,
tell because it looked kind of right. Mm. I can't
I think
tell.
it just made it bigger.
It made it bigger, which makes some sense actually,
Why would that be?
because it's stretching the box to be like over here, but you keep stretching the box as you do that. So you're just making a bigger box by yeah. So you'd have to do a left 40 and a right negative 40 to make it happen. Yeah, I think a transform makes more sense at that point. That's probably what's happening.
Oh, but I'm moving. Is the problem?
Well, by doing right negative 40, it's just making that absolute box and it's stretching this part by 40. I'm off camera, but that part.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But if I apply these classes directly to the image,
You can.
that
I
would
don't know
be
which
different,
thing it
right?
styles, but try it. Because if it styles the picture element, it won't apply. Okay, it worked.
Did that actually work? How can you tell that?
Well, it just looks big. I don't know. I feel like it would have looked small.
Oh, Christian's saying a translate, which makes sense as well. So he's using a negative
yeah.
translate.
Translate. Yep.
So bottom 0 negative translate x 40.
Yeah, probably inset 0 to like be careful. I don't even know if you need that. Maybe you're good. Yeah.
We can
Oh,
also
positive 40.
I think we still. Is it positive? Positive pushes it that way.
Yeah.
I think I also need the right 0 to set it at the edge, set it at the right to start, and then translate it. So that didn't. So is it supposed to be positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
And this may.
It's moving.
I don't know if there's an 80.
There's an 80. Is there a way to do a? Because a percentage. Because I'm thinking.
Do a percentage with translate?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Another thing I can do potentially is.
At this point, I would have just started writing vanilla CSS. But
well, this is not even like.
I'm not patient with Tailwind.
Yeah, I have plenty of page. I think this is probably more like my weakness of CSS as a whole, like more so than
This,
Tailwind, because I feel like
yeah.
Tailwind I can do whatever I want. Let me go to another thing we can do, which is make this thing bigger as a whole.
Yeah.
Although I don't want that to be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It
Is
seems like you
this?
want to max. So the container has a max width, right? Like on a 4K monitor, it would look the same.
Yeah, this is just going beyond the container. So the container
Yeah.
is here, and it's only going beyond the container because we pushed it out that way
Mm-hmm.
with absolute positioning.
Sure.
Actually,
And
don't.
now there's a horizontal scroll bar, so
Yeah, I
gotta
know.
gotta do something. But that should be a matter of overflowing and then it's fine. Okay.
But maybe if I set
Does it ever wrap? Or are we just not focused on that? I might be
responsively, you
complaining.
mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely need to do that. Haven't gotten that far yet. So if I now move the translate, okay, so that's getting closer.
It's definitely getting closer.
Not responsive yet, but that's closer to what.
Oh, it looks like it squishes in a nice way. Because it's
Well, it
in the
starts to
grid.
cover.
Yeah. That's kind of good if it like moved behind it or something. And
Could
well, you
be.
also need like text shadow, but yeah. Whatever it
Yeah.
is.
What would the index negative? Oh, absolute. I always forget how Z index works with
Haha.
um absolute position.
I need to go read that Josh Komu article again. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Because you've already done I think the other box needs to be relative in order for it to work. I think that's it.
This
Yeah,
box.
that box.
Yeah, that is definitely one that I don't understand.
And now I gotta add
Coastal.
the index back.
Oop, nope.
Maybe? No. Okay, it is an image inside of a picture. I don't know how much that matters. But you don't style the picture tag. You have to style like oh wait, it's styling the picture tag. I always thought that didn't work.
Here we go.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
it is the picture tag.
Okay.
But I think so. How did we solve this on?
What do you know?
Thankfully, she's got all this for me. So just removing on mobile, removing the like copy text and just having this part. Oh, moving that down there.
Yeah. It's a different photo?
Yeah, because
Or different okay, I
I
see. I get
decided
it now.
I like this one better, so I'm tweaking it.
Yeah.
But this is the original like handoff thing,
Yeah. I'm
which
thinking about the
this
because the
does make it
phone's gonna go in the
easier.
text. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, this definitely makes it easier. But I like this.
I like the new photo more too. I mean, it's the Theo pose, but
Yeah, I did this at
I wanna do that too.
Modern Friends. I was just kind of joking around, and
Yeah.
someone, Eddie, took a picture, and I was like, "Oh, that actually is an amazing picture." So it's now my like profile picture on all my social accounts,
Nice.
which is another reason to keep it consistent. Like use that same
Yeah.
image here. Yeah, I feel like the coloring looks better on this one than that one too.
Yeah, it matches the blues,
Hmm.
so it works. Was
Yep.
thinking that.
Which this is actually these were taken on the same day,
Mm.
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's just like the color of because I know
Mhm.
iPhones lean cool.
Mhm.
So like grays look blue. Or is
Yeah,
that the same sweatshirt? Or is it a
it
different?
actually is.
Okay, it is, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so
And the green phone
here.
case matches the text. Oh man, it's
Oh,
really
that's
good.
true. I like none of
Look
that
at
was on
that.
purpose. So that's close to something.
It's
And
close
then
to something.
the awkward thing is always like, what do you do with this hard line?
Yeah. It's
Which
like maybe just make I don't know, the heading have another color. Or, yeah.
the heading. I feel I
Like a
feel like it needs
slightly
to have
darker, like taking the
background color.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if the background was
Yeah.
a slightly darker shade, and then it's just it cut off.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
These
never
are
gotten
not.
borders to
Ooh, there it
work.
is.
It's oh, that's kind of cool how it goes out. I'm thinking of that.
That's not exactly what we want, but oh, why does this have where does this gap come from? Weird.
Oh, is
This
that
must
just
be a
like
style.
yeah, it's
I
just a
think that's something
stray
I set
thing.
inside of base layout PY4. So that should be gone. Okay, not gonna keep that background though. All right, so still need to figure out like on medium width what this looks like. Question in the chat, what do I do for a living? I do content for a living now, which is cool. I don't know if you want to hear from Ben too. Ben, what do you do for a living?
Oh, I work on Astro, the thing that you're using. So yeah, it's a
Love
company.
it.
Yeah, and I do videos too, but
Whiteboarding videos.
whiteboarding videos.
Yep.
I'm trying to
I
get
like
into
it.
longer form, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard.
It's a challenge for me going the other way to smaller or to shorter form, just because the editing is very different. Like vertical, especially the editing is very different.
It's very different. It's weirdly all I know. When I do
Mhm.
like a long form video, it's like, how do I talk for 10 minutes? It's
Yeah.
so much. I don't know. And I'm trying to figure out the thumbnail game and the getting people
Yeah.
excited about web tech. I don't know if you have any like thoughts or opinions on that, but I found it's kind of hard if I'm not talking about React to get people
Oh, to get
excited on
visibility.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just think about YouTube. That's just a very React audience.
Yeah. And it's a I don't know. It's tough. I've been struggling recently with how to like my channel visibility wise has been going down, like views and stuff per video.
Huh.
So I've been really spending a lot of time thinking about that. Also thumbnails. I've recently been trying some on Fiverr.
Huh.
And anyway, I don't know. Let's see which one this one is. So oh cool. He already came back with a couple of new options. This is nice. So I've got have you seen Tailscan? It's a new
No.
it's a new app that I always forget the freaking shortcut. Yuri, thumbnails are hard. Yeah. So it's a thing that you can add inside of Google Chrome, an extension, and then it gives you. I think I had to disable it for a second. Rats. I need to enable it again. Where is it?
Oh, but is it like Tailwind in the browser?
It is. It gives you. I have to find it. But it gives you tools to like inspect. So you could go to somebody else's website and it'll give you like a visualizer or a viewer of all of the classes that they use. So you could go in and just like look at other people's Tailwind styles and kind of copy them over if you want. Also, usually when you use the just-in-time compiler, like it only ships CSS for the classes that you've used in your code. So if you're like testing out something in the browser, want to apply a class that you haven't used before in your code, it's not going to include the CSS. So it allows you to do that. So I don't actually know how it does it, but it I guess just has all those styles and then still lets you use them from the extension.
Yeah, I bet it just injects all of Tailwind and just says like, yeah, you can work from that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or maybe injects it like as you use it. Because it probably
maybe.
Ideally it wouldn't do it all the way to the beginning, although I don't know. So yeah. These were so this person was $15 for 3 thumbnails, which he was actually nice enough to. I told him that I was going to do a part 1 and part 2 of this video, so he was actually nice enough to give me 2 different thumbnails for what was originally one, because he just split out like this thing and the title is different. So this is remix authentication versus just remix tutorial. But yeah, I think these are kind of cool. But I've realized how much time like I spend on that stuff and how stressful it is, because thumbnails are hard, and to have help with that is actually extremely helpful.
That's nice. Yeah. The only game I know is forge a tweet and use it as a thumbnail, and that's it.
What is that? 4 to tweet?
Or just I've seen a trend of like writing a fake tweet and just putting that as the thumbnail, even if it didn't
Oh,
happen.
gotcha.
And
Yeah.
that's it. I haven't done
Mhm.
the shocked face yet. I assume you just have like a
Yeah.
big folder of shocked faces and just send them off on Fiverr. Is that?
Yeah, let's see. It's not my proudest moment, but yes.
I
So
mean, you have
here's
to.
I know. It is really awkward, but this is what I did over Christmas. This is at like the guest bedroom at my in-laws house.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Lighting
there's
surprisingly good.
it's not bad. I took I forget what, some sort of light with me. But yeah. So then they cropped it out and put it on here with colors and stuff, which is nice.
Nice. Yeah, the glowing edges. Pretty
Mhm.
good.
I've always enjoyed those.
Yeah, devs like neon.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
cool.
that's what I'm up to.
Nice.
I am probably been on for like an hour and 40 minutes. I'm probably gonna call it for myself. Anything you want to share with the group before you leave? I don't know if they're someone okay, maybe you can help me out with this. Someone mentioned Astro 2.0. Did we talk about that
Ooh,
in the stream? And do I know details about
I
Astro
hope
2.0?
so. We mostly talked about the type safe markdown piece, which
Uh-huh.
is
I remember
definitely
that.
coming.
Yep.
2.0 beta is released. I think we
Oh,
like
cool.
hit the button that morning, and now it's like actually merged. It's actually live, and
Oh,
I
that was what you
just
were shipping that morning.
Oh, that doesn't work in SEO at all. Okay.
No, it does not. Yeah.
The more AstroJS 2.0, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't think we have a blog post or anything. That's the issue. It's
Okay.
just like in our changelog, it is silently 2.0. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm trying to remember what actually changed other than like baselining the experimental flags. But
Okay.
that was most of it. Anything that we announced experimentally as like, oh yeah, here. Oh yeah, big like refactor to the markdown config because it was confusing. So I just said
We did
like,
talk
yeah,
about all this. I had
we
forgotten.
did.
Someone mentioned it
All right,
on
cool.
stream and comments earlier, and I was like, I don't know about this. What's the deal with Astro 2.0? But we did talk about this now that I remember.
Nice.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah, it's coming. It's
Look at that contributor.
I'm famous.
Yes.
Oh my
absolutely.
god. Yeah, that's all I got to share. Go try it,
Cool.
people. It's great.
You link to Astro in the chat. I'm still waiting on the swag store so I can order some swag.
Me too. Apparently, it was being built on HTMX. I think you asked like what it's built on. It's not anymore. It was an experiment.
HTMX?
Yeah, it's like ways to sprinkle interactivity with just like HTML tags. It's not really a framework or a component framework. It's just it's a lightweight thing that I feel like existed a decade ago. The name's been around a while, but
Okay.
yeah, apparently it was more trouble than it's
Interesting.
worth. I don't know.
So now
Won't cast any doubt on HTMX. I've never used it.
Yeah.
But I think we're
You know
using
what it is
Svelte
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what the original swag store was on, was just a lot of Svelte components. So I think it'll just be more of that.
Yeah.
Because it's just like Svelte and Astro feel really similar when you use them.
Yeah.
Just different for loops, but everything else is the same.
True. Yeah, definitely why both of them are top of my list.
Svelte's on the top of my list.
Yep. Cool. Thanks everybody in chat. I had lots of people like helping answer questions and suggestions and stuff too. So thanks everybody for that also. Yuri said he feels awkward taking pictures for YouTube videos. Totally get it. But sometimes you just got to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Gotta get a different webcam too. I look blown out right now. Gets dark so soon here. I just need I need a nice
throw in too much
DSLR.
light.
Yeah.
It's not. It does make a big difference.
Probably gonna do it.
Do it. Let me know when.
Yes. Oh, I'll send you my choice. Well, you can tell me if it's a good one. I don't know. If it says Sony, I'm assuming it's fine. I'm just going off of other people's
most likely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
One that doesn't overheat.
That would be a plus. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. Ben, thanks for coming and answering questions. That was super helpful. Hopefully I'll continue to make progress and I'll be sharing on Twitter. I'll tag Astro from now on too. And the rebuild.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, thanks for just like helping me hop on, because doing it through Twitch chat, I remember trying to help White Panther with Image, and I was just like trying to get above other comments and like say, no, I said it wrong. Is the feedback is just hard.
So,
yeah.
especially when you have an active chat, it gets lost really quickly.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Okay. Gonna go hop to ship things. See y'all.
Sweet. See ya later, everybody.